additional business model you need to add onto that. That's a short sale. A short sale needs to be negotiated with the person they are owing money to, the bank that they're owing money to, right? And that process is a little bit longer. That's the example I gave you earlier, where I had deals in the pipeline, which I did close on every single one of them, but they had to go through the short sale process, which can be anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 years, right? And the other deal, my first deal, was a deal that had equity in it. Like the guy walked away with $50,000, something like that. So there was room for negotiations at the closing, where he asked me for extra money, right? So that's the filter right there that I had it, right? So if you count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's actually 9, but depending on the market, sometimes I will add these 2 additional. That's why I call it 11 points. Sometimes I will add these 2 additional point filter, which is owner occupied. I will say no, I don't want the owner to be living in the property. Why? Because if they don't live in the property, it's not a home, it's a house. They are less emotionally attached to it. It's just a landlord. And a lot of landlords, they came into the game thinking it's easy breezy, but they're tired. Okay, it's a stressful job. It's actually a second job. Okay, so I like to go after those, and in that case I will say no here. When I said no, you notice that the property reduced from 31 to only 2 on this list right now. The other one, depending on the market, in this market I wouldn't use that. I have 31 already. It's less than 100. I usually like to go after 100. If you're a newbie, you go after 100, you spend $50 or less on mailing these people, and you just consistently do that. Remember the input every week, and don't stop at 6 weeks. Keep going, because you know that this thing is working for you out there, right? Okay, so let's keep going. I'm sure you will have questions. If you have questions, use the comment area, chat area, anything like that. I'll be happy, glad. Or you can just comment inside and just ask me through text message. All right, so occupancy status, I like you to say vacant. If I say vacant, you notice that this list has disappeared. What that typically means is that in this city, PropStream, the software, does not have data for vacant property. That's really all it means, okay? When it goes empty like that. So I wouldn't use the filter. I'll go back in the filter and I will make this any, right? But also in terms of, I could also tell with this neighborhood, in this city, that a lot of people that got into this trouble of their property being in potential foreclosure, where majority of them are actually the owner of the property. They live in the property, right? And that doesn't mean you can't do a deal. The only thing that can stop you from doing a deal is your lack of consistency. That's it. I promise you. I've seen this literally for the past 16 years. If you're not consistent, deals will slow down. If you're consistent, you will build a pipeline. What you're looking to do is build a pipeline, right? And you can do everything you can do all the contact, skip trace. That means to find the contact information, phone numbers, email address of the owners of the property. Then you start initiating contact with them using the campaign tab here. You can do all of that from this one single software. You don't have to complicate it. The software has tutorials on step by step, right? Let me go back to the filter really quickly. Go back to the filter here. I'm going to take out this owner occupied thing and make it any. I have 31, so I will simply just select all 31. That's the data right there. I will add them to a list, right? Once I add them to a list, I will manage my list over there. You can see all the lists we have under my property here. You can see we have tons of lists, different properties for different reasons, right? And all I need to do, I don't need to be looking at each property and evaluating them for what they're worth. It's pointless, because we're talking about stages. Remember, we're talking about stages, right? Let's go back to the stage. You don't want to be doing assessment of any particular property unless that property has gone through stage 3, meaning the owner has actually said, here I am interested in an offer. The only time you should be doing particular in-depth assessment on any property is if the owner has said, yes, I'm interested. And then obviously you want to do your math and then make sure that you're giving an offer with respect to what the fair market value of the property after repair value of the property is, right? That's essentially how you want to do this game, okay? All right, so let's go back here. These are different lists right here. You see different lists for different purposes that we use at different stages. You can delete lists. You're allowed up to 10,000 pieces of property records every single month. Every new month is renewed. You can have access to another 10,000. But obviously, like I said, you don't want to be going after all 10,000. You want to use the filters, narrow them down, and be consistent over time if you don't want to be a victim of this curve. This curve is called the exponential curve, right? If you want to create the exponential a graph with results that shows exponential growth, and then you hear people say overnight success, it's because no one saw the red line where they were literally pulling their air out, right? Because it's hard to be consistent. It's just extremely hard to be consistent, right? So just wanted to quickly share that with you. This is the only secret to getting to your first deal. Listen, you could follow anybody in the industry, any guru, anybody's training, right? If you're consistent with it, you will pull a deal out of it. Okay. Now, some people's training are better than others, but everything I'm doing here is free. So I'm telling you right now that the only danger here is that you take this for granted because it's free and you don't take action. That's the only danger. Okay. That's the only danger. Listen, I benefit if you start doing deals and you bring me deals. Okay, I benefit from that. Okay, and by the way, if you have deals that comes across your table and you're looking to do deal disposition, you have make sure it's already under contract. Okay, it has to be under contract already. So I'm gonna put that here right now. That's what I call deals. If it's not under contract, you can submit a deal anyway. But you want to go to myEmpirePRO.com/submit. All right, good. You want to go to this link right here, www.myEmpirePRO.com/submit. You can submit your deals there. I'll do deal with you. I'll mentor you. I'll do all those kind. We'll make money together. Okay. So if you're looking into why am I doing that? Am I just being nice? No, it's because of stuff like this. I do deals with a lot of people. Make money from it. Okay. But you also make money too without having to waste your life savings on $35,000 coaching. Okay. Now I do have mentorship coaching here that's paid for that you can have if you want my personal time upfront, but you don't really need it if you are willing to be. If you understand this consistency piece that I just put here, you will realize very quickly that you don't need it. All right. So if you want to take a quick note, you can go ahead and stay at this a little bit. Those are the stages right there while I go ahead and see what's going on in the market today. You know, we have to see what's going on in the market. Don't you think so? So we can make sense out of all of this, right? It's a lot of information, especially if you're brand new, right? But it comes down to learning how value works in the marketplace, value for value, learning how money moves from one hand to the other. Money will move from whoever is providing the most value. Very simple, right? Money will move from one hand to the hands of the person providing the most value. Money will come from the government, but money that's given to you by the government has a cost to it, has a price to it. Depend too much on that, it can destroy you, right? So just keep in mind that money goes from person to person based on value in the marketplace. All right. So with that being said, let's do this. So let's go into the market and see what's going on in the headlines.